Hello and welcome to the third edition of Fantasy Talk with your host, Tyler Ferrero. This week we're going to start with the love and hate segment, and the first player I love is wide receiver Dez Bryant for the Dallas Cowboys. And so far this year, he has been the number one fantasy wide receiver in all of the NFL. And for the next 2 weeks, he's going up against two of the worst pass defenses in the Washington Redskins and the Philadelphia Eagles. So expect him to continue his dominance. The second player I love is Bryant's quarterback, Tony Romo for the Dallas Cowboys. And last week, he put up 40 points, and expect the same as he's going up against two of the worst defenses in the NFL. The third player I love this week is running back Doug Martin for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Thus far, Martin has had a huge workload as he is on pace to get 400 carries this year, and expect the same as they go up against the Philadelphia Eagles and the Atlanta Falcons in the next 2 weeks. And the fourth and final player I love this week is running back Trent Richardson for the Indianapolis Colts. In the next 2 weeks, Richardson is going up against the San Diego Chargers and the Denver Broncos, who thus far have allowed a lot of points this year. So expect Richardson to score some touchdowns in the upcoming weeks. And now for the hate part of the segment, where I'll be starting off with C.J. Spiller, running back for the Buffalo Bills. And next week, Spiller will be going up against the Cincinnati Bengals, who have a pretty strong run defense. And so far this year, his backup, Fred Jackson, has been getting a lot of carries and has produced more fantasy points than Spiller has this year. So expect Spiller to continue struggling. And the second player I hate this week is wide receiver Dwayne Bowe for the Kansas City Chiefs. And so far this year, him and Alex Smith have not meshed. And he has struggled since Alex Smith has become the quarterback for the Chiefs, even though the Chiefs are 5-0. So for the next 2 weeks, don't expect him to score very many fantasy points. And the third player I hate this week is quarterback Colin Kaepernick for the San Francisco 49ers. And for the last few weeks, he has played poorly, and expect the same as it seems like the 49ers want to run the ball a lot more, so don't expect him to get very many passing yards or many touchdown passes. And now, for the fourth and final player I hate this week is wide receiver Larry Fitzgerald for the Arizona Cardinals. And in the next 2 weeks, he goes up against two of the strongest defenses in the NFL, both pass and run, in the San Francisco 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks. So expect him to continue his poor play. And now it's time for my sleeper picks. And my first sleeper is wide receiver Terrence Williams for the Dallas Cowboys. And in the next 2 weeks, they go up against two of the worst defenses in the NFL, in the Washington Redskins and the Philadelphia Eagles. And as long as starting wide receiver Miles Austin is out, Terrence Williams has been playing very well, and I expect him to continue playing well as the defenses continue to focus on Dez Bryant and Jason Witten. And you should be able to pick him up on your team, as he's owned in only 21.4% of ESPN fantasy leagues. And for my second sleeper pick is wide receiver Keenan Allen for the San Diego Chargers. And right now, Allen is the Chargers' top outside receiver, and lately the Chargers have been putting up a lot of points, so expect him to score a lot of touchdowns because he is also a big target for Philip Rivers, and that helps in the red zone. And try to pick him up if you need wide receiver help, or at least depth on your team, because he's owned in only 2.2% of ESPN fantasy leagues. And for my third and final sleeper pick, it's tight end Garrett Graham for the Houston Texans. And last week, the starting tight end Owen Daniels got injured, and Garrett Graham will be replacing him. So if you need help at tight end, or if your tight end's on a bye week, try to pick him up because he's only owned in 11.3% of ESPN fantasy. Now that's the end of the third edition of Fantasy Talk, and I hope you tune in next time as I talk about the upcoming fantasy basketball season. And I'd like to thank you for watching, and I hope to see you then.